God interrupted my life once to teach me a very important lesson. But one night, I woke up after sleeping for just a few hours, and my right arm was numb and tingly. You know that feeling that your hand falls asleep or something.
Yes, yes.
So I got up and I just kind of walked around and rubbed it and tried to get the feeling back in it, and I just didn't feel good. But I kind of got it feeling a little bit better, so I laid back down. A few hours later, I woke up and my entire right side was numb.
Wow.
It was probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I kind of pulled myself up out of bed. My husband, Larry, needed to work the next day, so I didn't want to disturb him because I thought, well, this is just something crazy. But I got up and I just kind of dragged into our den and sat in the sick chair. Do you have a sick chair?
I do not. What is a sick chair?
Growing up, we had this overstuffed brown recliner. I mean, you could fit 3 people in it.
Okay.
And it just, in our house, when someone got sick, they would climb into that chair and it would just kind of wrap you, And
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, so we had a sick chair. So even after my girls grew up and left home, there's a few times that they would, be sick and they would come home and I would think they want their mommy. But really they wanted to just rest in the sick chair.
You wanted the chair.
Yeah.
The heck with mom. I'm taking the chair.
Right. But I stayed in that chair for the rest of the night. By the time the morning came, I had to get ready for work too. And so I, just kind of worked myself around and went into work. But I wasn't there very long before I realized that there was something definitely wrong. And I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Oh, no.
Yeah, MS. And, of course, I didn't know anything about MS, and I didn't think I knew anyone with MS. If you ever Google your sickness, you're going to be dead by dawn, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, don't go down that road.
But so that's what I found. I thought, wow, this is pretty rough stuff. But I am a pretty independent, take charge type person. So after the shock wore off, I started trying to deal with this prognosis. And I thought, okay, I can deal with this and still continue on with these dreams I had for my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I did silly things. My arm would get tired, for instance, when I tried to dry my hair. So I cut my hair. And my fingertips were numb still. So I started building a wardrobe of just kind of full-on type clothes where I didn't have to worry about snaps or buttons or anything. I even got estimates for changes in the house. Had carpenters come over, like, what do I need to do in case I wind up in a wheelchair, because I want to just keep it on.
Melissa gave up her career and volunteer activities with the church. She became frustrated, and that's when she had it out with God.
And I really lashed out. It was not pretty at all. It was so irreverent, so prideful that I wouldn't have blamed God if in that moment he struck me with lightning. But it was real, because I told him, I'm trying to be a good wife, a good mother, a good daughter. I'm doing all of this. I'm working in your church, and look what you are allowing. So it was quite irreverent. But, it was how I felt in the moment. And God answered. He always answers in that moment. He answered me immediately. If anyone had been in the room, they wouldn't have heard a thing. But his answer, it just resonated really deep. Instead of him striking me with lightning, his answer came like more like thunder, that boom, boom, roll of thunder.
Yeah.
And it just resonated so deep inside of me. And what he spoke to me was, every breath you make, every step you take is from me and for me. And I
Wow.
was just floored. So, but isn't that just like God? He just kind of cuts to the chase, doesn't he?
And he always seems to come into your life the way that you need him to.
Exactly.
So what goes for you may not go for someone else. Like, they may have it in a gentler way, but you had to have it in that most profound way in order for God to get to you.
Right, because I was living my life in a very, pride was getting in the way. Independence was getting in the way. Self-sufficiency was getting in the way. So God had to humble me. And like you said, somebody else, he might just grab them in a bear hug and cuddle them. But for my stubborn streak, I needed something else. So God allowed MS into my life to strip away all of those things, to strip away what I considered to be the dream, to remind me of who was in charge.
You just said like the greatest words. God does have to take things away from you in order for you to stop in your tracks and acknowledge him.
Right.
Because he's done the same thing for me, and I'm sure for so many people. They've had careers, they've this, that, and the other thing, and then God strips it away, just like with you. And now here you are, you still have MS.
Mm-hmm.
And how is God working in your life this way?
That he opened up a part of my mind to want to write and speak. I decided, I have a story I can tell. So I wrote a novel. I dabbled and tried my hand at a few little small devotionals, and have really enjoyed that. And I would never have been able to do that if those dreams that I had that were so self-centered were still in my life.
So how would you encourage somebody today in Jesus?
Is that God's grace is all sufficient, and he is a willing God who loves us so much that he would extend that grace to us.
You can see more of Melissa's books and writing at thegracewarrior.com.